we have a share of 7.5% of international tourist footfalls of the country. Uttar Pradesh has an economy of the size of 19,000 billion. We have the highest consumer base in India. Uttar Pradesh is a globally acclaimed tourism destination. The spiritual triangle of Ayodhya, Prayagraj and Varanasi is holy not only to the Hindus and Jains but also to the Buddhists, along with the Krishna Braj tourism circuit. Uttar Pradesh is a land of diversity and immense tourism potential. Home to 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, namely the Agra Fort, the Taj Mahal and the Fatehpur Sikri, along with 2 intangible cultural heritage sites of Ram Leela and Kumbh Mela. We have 100 plus wildlife heritage and rural wellness tourism sites. We have 4 tiger reserves and 27 wildlife sanctuaries. We have the highest frequent sightings of tiger in the country. The 12 mega circuits of Uttar Pradesh include the Ramayana circuit, which entails the places where Lord Ram lived and travelled. The Krishna Braj circuit, including the Mathura Vrindavan, where Lord Krishna lived and ruled. The Buddhist circuit, as we shall see today. The Mahabharata circuit, which talks and shows the places described in the epic Mahabharata. The Shaktipeeth circuit consists of the places revered for goddess Shakti. The Adhyatmic circuit consisting of places of local deities revered by the devotees. The Heritage circuit of Sufi and Kabir. Uttar Pradesh is the land of Jain Tirthankaras. 18 out of 24 Jain Tirthankaras were born in Uttar Pradesh. The Bundelkhand circuit, which entails forts and folklores of the Bundelkhand region of Uttar Pradesh. The wildlife and ecotourism circuit consisting of places in and around wildlife sanctuaries. Uttar Pradesh has a very rich craft heritage, because crafts were patronized by the erstwhile rulers of UP. Also, the Swatantrata Sangram circuit, which entails the significance of Uttar Pradesh in the freedom struggle of India. Lord Buddha was our greatest ambassador of soft power to the world. Our relations with Thailand date back to the 3rd century BC, when King Ashoka reigned. The Ayutthaya kingdom of Thailand has deep cultural roots to the Ayodhya kingdom of Uttar Pradesh. We have shared Brahmanical and Buddhism traditions with Myanmar. We have our cultural traditions with Indonesia date back to the 5th century. The influence of Ramayana is evident in the culture and society. The Angkor Wat of Cambodia illustrates the deep shared relations and Brahmanical and Buddhist traditions between us and Cambodia. King Ashoka sent his son Mahendra and daughter Sanghamitra through Sri Lanka to spread Buddhism. The Jai Bodhi tree in Sri Lanka signifies the same. Our relations with Japan go back to the 6th century. The most recent being the Partners Affiliation City Agreement between Varanasi and Kyoto, signed in 2014. Our relations with South Korea date back to more than 2,000 years. It was here that Princess Suriratna of Ayodhya married King Kim Suro of Korea. The Buddhist heritage sites of Uttar Pradesh consist of Kapilvastu, where Lord Buddha grew up as a prince; Sarnath, where Lord Buddha gave his first sermon; Shravasti, where Lord Buddha spent 25 rainy seasons; Kaushambi, where Lord Buddha came twice to preach; Kushinagar, where Lord Buddha attained Mahaparinirvana; and Sankesa, where Lord Buddha is believed to have descended from heaven to give a sermon to his mother Maya Devi. A detailed account of the Buddhist heritage sites of Uttar Pradesh can be accessed through the QR codes. Kapilvastu in the modern Siddharth Nagar district of Uttar Pradesh is where Lord Buddha spent 29 years of his life as a prince. The capital city of Sakya-Can, ruled by Buddha's father Shushodhana. It was here in Kapilvastu, the modern day Piparvaha, where Lord Buddha had the famous four sights, that of an old man, of a deceased man, of a decomposing corpse, and that of an ascetic. It is here that Buddha decided to renounce the worldly desires and search for enlightenment. Of Kapilvastu is before you. Famed five-star hotels are situated in and around Gorakhpur and Kapilvastu. Kapilvastu is accessible by the Gorakhpur airport and also by the Lucknow International Airport. The nearest railway station to Kapilvastu is the Naugarh station. Sarnath in the modern day district of Varanasi. The erstwhile Sarangnath of the ancient times. After Buddha attained enlightenment, he came to Sarnath. And stamp duties. Also exemptions are provided on the land use conversion development charges. Once the construction is complete and the unit is operational, subsidy can be availed under the subsidy policy of Uttar Pradesh. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this presentation has sparked a deeper appreciation amongst all of you regarding the rich Buddhist heritage that we have. We encourage you to embark on your own exploration on the path that Buddha traversed throughout Uttar Pradesh. I would like to conclude with the saying, Nati Shanti Param Sukham, meaning there is no greater happiness than peace. Thank you very much. Any questions? I would take your leave. Thank you.
Namo Buddhaya. Good evening. It is my great pleasure to welcome Venerable Buddhist monks and nuns, Honorable Union Minister for Tourism and Culture, Government of India, Honorable Minister of Tourism and Culture, Government of Uttar Pradesh, Chief Secretary Uttar Pradesh, Secretary Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, DG ASI, DG International Buddhist Confederation, His Excellencies from different countries, the ambassadors, distinguished representatives of various government organizations, distinguished guests, my colleagues in the government, friends from media, and ladies and gentlemen, for attending today this exposition of Buddhist heritage of Uttar Pradesh, the Bodhi Yatra. Uttar Pradesh is fast emerging as India's most favored tourism destination, as you have already seen during the presentation, both internationally and domestically. In 2022, the state has witnessed an incredible surge in domestic tourist arrivals of 32 crores, and it is estimated that 2023 the number would go to 48 crore. Number one state in terms of domestic tourist arrival in India. As compared to foreign tourist arrival, we have received around 6.5 lakhs, number fifth in India, which was comparably less than expected, but with the efforts which the state is making right now, we are hopeful that in the coming years we would be able to attract more and more number of inbound foreign tourists also. As per NSS at all India level in 2023, total expenditure done by domestic tourists visiting Uttar Pradesh was around 2.2 lakh crore, which likely to go up to rupees 4 lakh crore by 2025. And total expenditure done by foreign tourist arrivals, Uttar Pradesh was around 10,000 crore rupees. The objective of this interactive session or the event is to reveal the cultural and spiritual connection of Uttar Pradesh with different countries in South Asia and Southeast Asia. There are many countries, Sri Lanka, Japan, South Korea, Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, Singapore, etc. The excellencies from these countries, they are already here, present over here. Also to improve cultural diplomacy with the support of Ministry of External Affairs between Government of India and respective countries, and promote foreign direct investment by setting up country-specific Buddhist conclave. So it is pertinent to mention here that the foreign countries shall be invited through MEA to invest in Uttar Pradesh, and state government shall identify land parcels as per their requirement based on mutually agreeable terms and conditions. As in the case of Royal Government of Bhutan, we have the state of Uttar Pradesh has already allotted 2 acres of land in Varanasi to construct temple and guest houses. Likewise, other countries may also set up respective infrastructure in the hospitality and tourism sector in the state of Uttar Pradesh in all these 6 destinations which we have mentioned right now in the hospitality and tourism sector. They will also get the facilitation as well as subsidies, fiscal and non-fiscal incentives for setting up these infrastructures. To promote faster land availability to investors, Department of Tourism has recently launched Land Lease Policy 2024. So, the land will be allotted on long-term basis, lease of 90 years, where land will be allotted to the respective countries, and they can set up either monastery, guest house, restaurant, or whatever kind of tourist facility they want to. Department of Tourism Uttar Pradesh state has also taken several steps to promote faster tourism related investment into the state, and we have launched Tourism Policy 2022, which facilitates, which actually that is very lucrative policy and one of the best policy in the country. Now, right from the beginning of registration till its operation, we provide support by guiding them, by facilitating them, and by providing help in getting the approvals from different departments for expediting the project. This event, Bodhi Yatra, proposes to showcase Uttar Pradesh as the cradle of Buddhism in the world. And we are ready to receive the number of footfall of foreign tourists in the state, for which we have identified land parcels, and we have also created separate fund for Buddhist tourism destinations. We are preparing destination development plans, and in the coming years we will set up all kind of facilities to facilitate the tourists in these destinations. I once again welcome everyone present over here. Spiritual tourism destination in the country and world, and invite you to share your ideas, your suggestions for the cultural, academic exchange and for the development of Buddhist tourism in Uttar Pradesh. Thank you once again. Bhavatu Sabba Mangalam.
Years in Uttar Pradesh, I studied at Sampurna Sanskrit University, the Central Institute of Higher Education Study, from the 79 to 1988. So I have a lots of long experience in the Uttar Pradesh. The Bodhi Yatra I appreciate the project, the program, and from the beginning to the program of today, and the Secretary, the Tourism, the Uttar Pradesh, also mentioned the highlight of the future and the upcoming developments and the projects. The Buddhist nations or Buddhist countries, though they have always reach out here for the pilgrimage, and Buddhist pilgrimage it's a very important for the Buddhist peoples and the lovers of the Tathagat Buddha. Second thing, according to the Raul Sanskrit Times written more than the numbers of books, but particularly there is a Raul Sanskrit Times has mentioned the important places of the Tathagat Buddhas after the Enlightenment. More than 25 the sacred, the holy places of the Tathagat Buddha. Only 6 or 7 the sacred or Buddha places in Uttar Pradesh, which already mentioned and shown in the program from the beginning, and also the minister has also mentioned. But the rest of the Tathagat Buddha's pilgrimage is in the Bihar state. And after the Tathagat Buddhas, there's many the Buddhist holy places which is all over in India, different states. So therefore, really I appreciate on behalf of the Buddhist community, on behalf of the Tibetan community, on behalf of the Mahayan community and Theravada tradition, and being living in India. So I really appreciate and welcome the Buddhist nation, the pilgrimages constantly and continually, and the state Uttar Pradesh will be now more and more welcoming you all, and I appreciate your programs, the presentations about the in-depth about the values and importance in short and brief. So therefore I think I just expressed, and then near future we hope that it will become more and more highlighted. Not only the Buddhist nation, now the Europe and the entire continental people used to come. There's a numerous Western Buddhist followers and the practitioners. So everybody is wanting to visit the important places of the Tathagat Buddhas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. From the heart for inviting us to be present here. It's a very subtle experience of the heart and soul to hear and think and speak about the Buddha. It's a very calming effect, and I think all of us are very fortunate to partake in this discussion. When we look at the sites in UP, about which a very interesting and a very engaging presentation was made, what one could actually see is we were probably traveling along with the Buddha, probably in a time capsule going back in time, revisiting one place after the other. While many destinations we go as a tourist and as a visitor, it is for the eye, it is for the palate, here it is for the soul. I think the way we are looking at the destination, especially when we talk about Kushinagar, when we talk about Shravasti, about Kaushambi, is how does Buddha touch us in our heart and soul. So the way we would like to look at the tourism development in UP, Government of India in collaboration with the state government of Uttar Pradesh, is to develop these destinations to bring to the pilgrim, somebody who starts as a visitor, becomes a tourist, and then actually becomes a pilgrim to these holy sites. This entire journey of the traveler, we would really want it to make it more comprehensive, more engaging. I would like to just share a couple of things before I hand over to the next dignitary to speak. One thing which we are very keen to work from the Ministry of Tourism and Government of India is to not only create a memorable experience end-to-end for the travelers, but also involve the local community in this entire experience, because it is they who are living in the land of Buddha. It is the youth of that place, the youth of Kushinagar, the youth of Kushambi, who have a stake in that. So we want to involve the local youth, local community to partake the stories of the Buddha and to make the visit for all of us more memorable. I would just add one more line, which is our Honourable Minister is also Minister for Culture. So one of the things which we definitely would like to do along with the State Government of UP, which is the Tourism and Culture Ministry from the Government of India, is to work with the museums of UP. Sir, some of the museums in Uttar Pradesh have some amazing Buddhist antiquities, relics, and this is something which we really want to bring it to light. Because the epigraphs and the relics and the antiquities in museums are the living history of the Buddha. They speak to us from those days. So we really want to bring this to the public fore, and I'm sure we should be able to take very good steps in this direction. We are in an age of very transformational tourism. We are talking about experiential tourism. And again, as I said, when it comes to UP, when it comes to Buddhist sites, it's all about the heart and soul. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening to all of you. Namo Buddhaya. Most respected venerables who are here among us, and a nun who is also here. Honorable Minister of Culture and Tourism, Shri Gajendra Singh Shekhawat sir, and Honorable Minister for Tourism and Culture from UP government, as well as of course Chief Secretary from UP, Mahesh Meshramji, who's been very passionate about pursuing the Buddhist path. I want to say in simple words, when you talk about Buddhist tourism, it's not really tourism. I'm glad that Secretary Tourism mentioned about the word pilgrimage. My brothers who are here from the Buddhist faith would prefer to call it pilgrimage. This is all about places which are associated with an individual who existed 2,500 years back. And at that time, he had spoken about compassion, wisdom, peace, tranquility, and the balance of mind and body. These are all aspects which are very relevant today. They were relevant in the past, they are relevant today, and they are going to be relevant for times to come. Just as an example, to tell you, today when we have the COP24 and climate change and all those meetings, 2,500 years back, you never had any pollution. It was absolutely clean environment. You had no carbon poisoning. But the Buddha at that time had spoken about something which has relevance even today. He had said, as mankind, whatever you give to the nature gives you back in similar manner. And that stays applicable even today. So when you go to these sites, I was coming to the point, it's not just about ordinary tourism. It's about a sense of belief in the thoughts of that great saint, that great man. You go to these sites, there is a serene atmosphere, very quiet, very humble, very peaceful, tranquil ecosystem. When you come out of that place, you feel you've come out of a meditation session. The Buddha always talked about vipassana, a form of meditation which is all about mindfulness. And mindfulness is something which today a lot of corporate agencies, a lot of bureaucrats, a lot of schools and colleges all over the world are trying to imbibe. So when you go to these sites, you get a sense of that value, and you walk out with a lot of richness in your mind, in your soul. I will just stop here, and I would just like to emphasize what the logo says here. UP nahi dekha to India nahi dekha. For all of those who don't know Hindi, it basically says that if you haven't seen Uttar Pradesh, you haven't seen India. And there is a deep meaning in this, because 7 of the primary sites are there in the state. I won't go into the details because they've been explained here. But one of the most important sites, Sarnath, because that is where it's known as the Dhamma Chakra Pravartana, which means the turning of the wheel. This is the place where Gautam Buddha had passed on his teachings for the first time to his 5 disciples. And that is considered as a transition of his knowledge to mankind, because these 5 disciples further passed it on to the others. So it's a very important site, and UP has it, and along with that the other sites are also of tremendous relevance. I would only encourage people to look at it from the point of view of investment, a positive investment, and adding value to the thoughts and the mind of the Buddha. Thank you very much. Namo Buddhaya.
Namaskar, Namo Buddhaya. Venerable Buddhist monk and nun sitting in the audience, Honorable Union Minister for Tourism and Culture, Honorable State Minister for Tourism from UP, a very good friend of mine, Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, of course, another good friend of mine, Honorable Chief Secretary of UP. Thank you very much for inviting Singapore as one of the representatives for this first journey of the Buddha Yatra. I want to make 2 points. Singapore is the early believer of the state of Uttar Pradesh. In the last GIS, Global Investor Summit, Singapore has committed 30,000 crore rupees of investment in UP. Amongst the 5 pillars of investment in UP, one of them involves tourism. And we have one Chota Chota small project in Sanaf. But we hope that through this conference, more people are aware of the Buddhist circuit in the beautiful state of UP, and that more Singaporean Buddhists make their pilgrimage to UP. We are a very small nation. We are about 5.8 million people in Singapore, but 30% of the population, around 1.7 of them, are Buddhists, and they regularly make visits to India to trace the footsteps of Lord Buddha. The second point I want to make is that UP will get its biggest airport in Jewar very, very soon. The first phase of the development and the first phase will be done in, I think, 2025. We are one of the investors in Jewar project, and we hope that through the hub of Jewar, many of our pilgrims and many of our tourists from Singapore and around the region can use Jewar Airport as a hub to jump into many of the smaller airports around UP to make their pilgrimages more seamless. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for inviting Thailand to be part of this promotion event of the Buddhist circuit in UP. I'd say that for Thailand, most of our population, about 95%, follow Buddhism. We practice what we call Theravada tradition. And Buddhism has been successfully integrated in our way of life from birth to death and in all aspects. So I would say that since Thailand and India, we have strong connections to the Buddhism since over 2,000 years, the 3rd century. So the Buddhism that we have derived from India through Sri Lanka have influence in our cultures and way of life. So that's mean our two countries are so well connected in distance. So no wonder that when I came to India and to the office in 2021, my first trip outside Delhi was to UP. I met the chief minister, global chief minister, and I remember that we discussed the possibility how to promote tourism between Thailand and UP. We talked about to increase some of the investment in UP, facility at Kushinagas, and to increase the number of tourists to UP. So for me, until today, I would say that for us, what we have contributed to UP tourism is that first, now we have more than a lot of numbers of Thai temples in UP. I would say that more than 20. The largest one is in Kuching-Naga, of course. And that created, not only the spot for the tourists from Thailand to UP for the pilgrimage, but also the spot for tourists to visit whenever they visit UP to see the Thai architectures and also the art that we have presented through the temples. The second one is that the numbers of Thai visitors to UP today, before COVID, before the COVID pandemic, we used to have about 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh. But now it's increasing. And last year only, I think that we have almost 50,000 visitors from Thailand. And from December last year to this week, March of 2024, we already got about 50,000 pilgrims from Thailand travel to India. And the third one is that we operated the seasonal flights between Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur. Not Kuala Lumpur, sorry. We have a seasonal flight to Gaya. Even though we cannot operate the direct flight to Kuala Lumpur or even to international airport at the Kuching-Naga, but we try our best to increase the flight. But at least from Gaya, that is a starting point to facilitate the traveler who want to come to UP. That is the nearest and most convenient modes of travel right now. So the seasonal flight normally start from October until March. That helps catering the travelers from Thailand as well as neighboring country to Gaya, and they start from Gaya to Kuching-Naga and also the rest in UP. And then the last one is on the economic perspective. We have tried to persuade and attract some of the Thai investors to look into the hospitality sectors in UP. For example, to have the hotels or even the restaurant. Of course, that cannot compare to Singapore, but we try our best and we have seen some of the interest from Thai private sector. We hope that in the near future we can have Thai, maybe Thai-owned hotels, the same that we have increased in Gaya. So this is what we have done so far. And my last point is that perhaps as I have traveled around all those Buddhist circuits many times, I would have some of my observations that what we can do more for the travelers or for tourists. First, perhaps on the information. Today I have seen on the screen very clear on the information how to travel to all those Buddhist sites or Buddhist heritage. But sometimes in the internet, it's so difficult to get the details information, how to connect yourself once you land into Kuching-Naga, how do you move yourself to other, heritage sites. That's the key issue. I think that we need to, improve on this side, especially on the details of the logistics of transportations. And the second one is on the facility. I think as a foreign tourists, we need to have more facility to enjoy ourselves. For example, the food. We should have more international varieties, not only locals or some Singaporean, but sometimes to spend longer days in one city. We should have more attractions, more things to do. And the third one is that how to improve the connectivity between Kuching-Naga to Lumbini. From the perspective of the pilgrimage, they like to complete the whole circuit. So they know that the best way to connect to Lumbini, which is the birthplace of Buddha, is through Kuching-Naga. For my own experience, it took us like more than half day to be able to cross the border to Lumbini, which is very far, which is very near to the border with Kuching-Naga. And my last point, I think we cannot do anything much. That is the weather. We have to accept that. That's why we have a seasonal flight to these regions. The weather in summer day. How could we, change this one? I don't know, but that depends on Buddhism. So that is the point that the weather is the key point. How you can attract the tourists to come in the low seasons. Thank you so much.
Namaskar. Honorable Tourism and Culture Minister, Government of India, Honorable Tourism and Culture Minister, Government of Uttar Pradesh, my fellow ambassadors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to you all. It is my great honor and privilege to participate in this exchange Bodhi Jatra roundabout discussion, a platform that dedicated to the promotion and preservation of our shared Buddhist heritage. At the outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Tourism Department of the Uttar Pradesh for organizing this significant event. As the ambassador of Myanmar, a land deeply entwined with the teachings of Lord Buddha, I bring with me the profound respect and reverence that my nation holds for these sacred sites. The Uttar Pradesh, the cradle of Indian civilization, is home to an unparalleled collection of Buddhist treasure, from the hollow site of Sarnath, where Lord Buddha set in motion the wheel of Dhamma, to the serene environment of Kushinaga, where he attained great nirvana. This then bears witness to the pivotal moment in Buddha's life and the subsequent flourishing of his teaching. These sites are not merely remnant of antiquity, but living embodiment of the timeless wisdom and compassion that continue to inspire, guide millions across the globe. Taking this opportunity, I would like to highlight Myanmar's rich Buddhist heritage. Buddhism in Myanmar is predominantly of the Theravada tradition practiced by about 90% of the population. Myanmar is the most religious Buddhist country in terms of the proportion of monks in the population and the proportion of income spent on religion. Although the teaching of Buddha originated in ancient India, Myanmar has become a vital guardian of Theravada Buddhism. The country's dedication to preserving the original teaching and practices of the Buddha is evident in its numerous monasteries, pagodas, and temples, which serve as center of learning and spiritual practice for both monks and lay people. Therefore, many Myanmar Buddhists aspire to visit the sacred Buddhist circuit sites in India at least once in their lifetime. The direct flight connecting Yangon, Myanmar to Gaya, India has significantly boosted Myanmar tourism in India's Buddhist circuit. This streamlined travel route has made it easier for pilgrims and tourists from Myanmar to visit crucial religious sites across India. Gaya, a central pilgrimage site for Buddhism, due to its association with Buddha's enlightenment, is now far more accessible, encouraging greater influx of Myanmar pilgrims to explore the entire Buddhist circuit, which include river locations like Bodh Gaya, Sarnath, and Kushinaga. The direct flight has not only increased visitor numbers, but also led to longer stays, allowing Myanmar tourists to explore multiple sites and contribute to the region's economy. Additionally, the improved connection has fostered cultural exchange between Myanmar and India, leading to collaboration in various fields. Myanmar, with its rich Buddhist heritage, is eager to contribute to its collective endeavor. We have been actively promoting our sacred sites, such as the awe-inspiring temples of Bagan, the Golden Shwedagon Pagoda in Yangon, and the tranquil Indian Lake and vibrant tourist destination. We are also working to enhance connectivity in infrastructure to facilitate travel and cultural exchange. Furthermore, we believe that the collaborative approach fostering the creation of a transnational Buddhist circuit encompassing sites across South and Southeast Asia can significantly amplify the impact of our efforts. Such a circuit would not only attract a wider audience of visitors, but also provide them with a more immersive and enriching experience, allowing them to trace the spread of Buddhism across different cultures and landscapes. India and Myanmar share long and intertwined history with deep-rooted cultural ties and vibrant people-to-people connection. The over 1,600 kilometers border they share not only facilitate trade and commerce but also serve as cultural bridge connecting the two nations. Therefore, I extend a warm invitation to the people of India to visit Myanmar and explore the breathtaking Buddhist site. Beyond the spiritual enrichment, these are vast business opportunities to be discovered as Myanmar is a land of potential. In conclusion, I extend heartfelt invitation to all stakeholders, governments, tourism boards, cultural organizations, the private sector, and local community to join hands in this noble understanding. Let us work together to unlock the full potential of Buddhist heritage sites in Uttar Pradesh and beyond, transforming them into not just tourist attraction, but beacons of enlightenment, peace, and cultural understanding. May the blessing of Lord Buddha guide our endeavors and empower us to create sustainable and inclusive tourism model that benefits both visitor and local communities alike. Thank you very much.